How'd that feel to you, Scott?
Yeah, personally, that was special for me. Walking out of the tunnel and hearing the fans, that brought back more memories than a lot of other things have, especially just the smell of the stadium with the food in there, and just took me back a long time. So it was a pretty special day for me.
Particular food?
I don't know if I can mention individual ones without endorsing anything, but all Nebraska fans know what's sold at the stadium, and I've been coming here a long time eating that stuff.
What do you think of the football?
It's the first step in a journey for us. I thought we did some really good things at times. I thought there were some guys making plays. It was a little sloppy at times, and we made some mistakes. Didn't capitalize on some things. First spring, I think the guys have come a long way already, and I told them that they can't see this as the end of the process. They just have to see that as they're familiar with what we're asking them to do now for the most part, and we got to take a little time off and then really have a resurgence and a lot of effort in summer conditioning to make sure we get better at everything we're doing.
As far as the quarterback play, Scott, was that representative of the first 13 practices, what you saw today?
Yeah, I think you got to see all the guys make good plays, and that's what's happened all spring. It was a little tougher probably. We had a few more of the guys on the red team than the white side, so those guys had a little tougher duty. But they all made good plays today. They all made some mistakes, and I think you can see that all four of them are talented kids with the capability of running our offense.
What did you like about what Adrian Martinez did, just from what you were able to see on the field, and where do you think he can still go?
Well, we're not. I told the quarterbacks before the game, just go play. We're not going to decide who the starting quarterback is today. So in a game like that, you might be the guy that's in there when the right play's called and the right guy's open, and you might be the guy in there when somebody misses a protection and you get sacked. And quarterbacks can look good or bad through no fault or of their own. So we're not going to judge them too much on the play today. Just speaking about Adrian, the one thing that really impresses me is his composure as a 18-year-old that should still be in high school to come out and do some good things. So that was a good job, but I thought all four handled the situation really well.
Scott, what were your thoughts of Greg Bell at running back?
Greg's got a gear that is pretty special. I think he's got good vision. He's got to get lined up a little faster, be a little more urgent sometimes, but he does some special things when the ball's in his hands.
Does today's work really solidify things kind of across the board in terms of where everybody's sitting on depth charts, whether or not they're possibly considering sticking around and elsewhere? Or is that going to be something where you take today, you look back across all the other practices, and then make a determination from there?
Well, how do you think we should do it?
How to hit the big bucks?
No, we're not going to make any decisions about depth chart right now. I think repetition usually, with all the repetition we get, it usually clarifies itself, and we don't have to do much with that. But I keep saying it's really hard to judge people until everybody's familiar with the scheme and playing on an even playing field. Once everybody knows what they're doing and we can really start to evaluate who's doing the job a little better than somebody else, then we'll make some of those decisions.
Next 2 weeks before school gets out, will you sit down with every guy individually and kind of let them know kind of where things are at going into the summer?
Yeah, I'm actually going to start meeting with the guys on Monday. I didn't get a chance to actually meet with everybody individually right when I got here. I've got to know all the guys now, and I want to sit down and have individual meetings with them. But we're actually going to practice on Monday. We've only had 13, and we have a window for one more. So we're going to do some type of practice on Monday, and then I'll start individual meetings with guys after that.
When you're not calling plays and you're on the sideline or watching behind, where do your eyes go? What were you sort of looking for as the day progressed?
I was just trying to watch effort, maybe see more things than I'd be able to as a play caller. Mostly watching the offense because I got a lot of guys on the defensive staff that I trust to do their job. But I was kind of enjoying the day a little bit as a fan. I don't get to just watch football very often, and I was coaching some, but also just kind of taking it in and enjoying the experience.
Who gave great effort in your mind?
I saw good effort from a lot of guys. I thought Dedrick Young really played hard. Will Honus really played hard. He's been playing hard all spring. Saw Ben Stilley playing hard. a lot of the guys that we need to be leaders, we're really attacking it and giving effort, and that's what we need, and we need more of it.
Scott, you're looking around, soaking in the environment. What stood out to you? Anything in particular?
Well, the stadium's changed quite a bit since I was here. There's a lot more TV screens and red lights and stands and or seats on the east side, and but one thing that hasn't changed is the volume and the passion of the fans, and it was neat for me to be a part of it again.
Where do you think this defense is at after having a full spring now?
They're symbolic of our entire team. I think we've gotten better. I thought the tackling was actually decent out there. There's a few missed tackles, but I thought guys were rallying to the ball pretty well and for the most part getting guys on the ground. But, you know, they're just like every other part of our team. We're taking the first baby steps here, and nothing that we're doing right now is where I want it to be or where the coaching staff wants it to be. But it just doesn't happen overnight. We have to be patient as coaches to teach lessons as problems arise and continue to develop and get guys in better shape and get guys stronger and get guys more familiar. And sometimes you get impatient as a coach and think it's going to happen overnight. It's not. So I've seen improvement from a lot of guys, and I've seen overall improvement from our team, but none of us are happy with where it is yet.
Do you remember at your last job the day that the team clicked, that everybody got on the same page at the same time, and it just felt different, and do you look forward to that time happening here?
Yeah, you know, it's a different experience for us because we've been through the same thing with another team the last 2 years. And the team we were coaching before this probably didn't click until fall camp of year 2. I hope it happens sooner than that here, but that's really when 2 years of work with Zach in the weight room kind of took hold. That's when 2 years of recruiting helped supplement our team. That's 2 years of being in our culture, 2 years of figuring out how to play as a team and care about each other. We even had some problems that second summer, and when we got those cleaned up, everybody just seemed to bond and come together, and it was a special group. And I don't know if it was one moment, but nothing happens like overnight or at the flip of a switch, but you can just feel it coalescing and coming together. And I think it'll happen faster here from a culture standpoint because the guys are so hungry to do it. But the rest of it's still going to take time, and we'll see when it all comes together and pops.
Scott, Sean Deal got through for a couple sacks. How would you characterize his spring?
I keep answering the question the same way. I saw him get better. You know, I think he got a lot better in the winter, getting stronger and getting leaner, and he's got the body type that we're looking for at that position. We just need him to be productive. A lot of guys on our team weren't in good enough shape, still aren't in good enough shape for the pace we want to play at. But Deshaun certainly got the talent and the gifts to be a good player for us and make plays.
Davis was on the inside today. Is there a particular spot that you would prefer him at on that D-line?
The Davis twins, I think, are going to be capable to play all 3 spots on the D-line, and we actually had to split those guys up on the team today. Our numbers aren't very good. Our depth isn't great right now, particularly at defensive back. It was really bad for us in this game, D-line. We had to have enough guys just to make sure we get through the game, and with those guys' ability to play both, we had to get them on different teams.
Please mention procedural and the motion stuff early on. Is that struggling to keep up with the pace, or where do you attribute things like that to?
No, that's detail. That's discipline and detail, and we got to keep coming along with that. Those things get even harder when you're tired. Those things get even harder when you're pushing the pace, but those things aren't acceptable around here. So, again, we can't get impatient and think that we're going to be perfect in day one or spring game number 1. But I thought it did get better in the second half. I don't know how many penalties there were in the second half, but it didn't seem like many. So we'll keep cleaning things up and getting better from that standpoint.
Most of when the offense was going, you're snapping about 25. I would assume that is just kind of a benchmark. And ideally, where would you like the ball being snapped on the play clock?
People always ask me where I want it snapped on the play clock, and I don't know if I've ever really dug into that. I just want it to be fast. And you can make tempo fast, But you really start to notice when it's fast enough that it's putting the defense on their heels when they can't get lined up. I don't think we're quite urgent enough yet. So I don't know exactly how much time I want on the clock when they snap it. I just know I want it to get faster.
Hey, Scott, just talking about the kid who won the $25,000 on that catch out there. Reaction was pretty big by the team. What'd you think?
I think they picked the wrong guy. Noah Vedral told me he ran track against him and he was a good athlete. I think he said he was from David City, Aquinas. He looked like the type of guy that could catch it, and he came through. So everybody was jacked for him. Thanks, guys.